So you can see on this mold, we've got a very complicated looking flange profile. And what that does is a couple things. Starting from the outside in, you've got your wing seal. Once this mold is clipped over and put onto the other side, this is the first thing that's touching off around the perimeter and creating the initial seal. There's vacuum ports situated around the part depending on how big it is. But the first one will draw on and it's gonna pull and clamp the B side down to the A. So you can really think about, when you look at this channel, you'll have two raised sections and then a flat area in between. That flat area in between does the vacuum clamping pressure, and those two raised areas set the height. So those are called the zero stops. So what those do is they let that mold start to draw down, and once it hits those, bam, you're locked in for your correct height. At that point, the inner seal is activated. So that is a denser seal, and that's gonna seal off the resin from your clamping area. In from that, you'll see another depression, and that's going to be the resin channel. And that's what's going to act as like the spiral wrap that you've seen on our other videos, where the resin is traveling through the part. And you'll typically have, depending on the sides, 1 or 2 resin inlets. So on this part, it's rather large. We have 2 resin inlets. That resin will be typically pumped in. So there's vacuum pulling the part down, and the resin's actually being pumped in under pressure. That will run around the perimeter of the part, and then there's a vacuum port in the center that will pull the resin out once it feeds to that. So these are typically set up with a RTM machine. You can use just a standard, but a less complicated bucket system. You lose some of the speed and advantages of the resin being pumped in under pressure, but you also have a little bit less complexity.